Good afternoon and welcome to International Forum. I am Wilson Marshall. Well, don't forget that COVID-19 is real because globally it's like, climbing towards 4 million infected persons globally. Yes, according to the recorded cases, 3.6 million or thereabout. Yeah, number of deaths above 200,000, and of course the cases of people that have recovered is going towards 2 million. That's 1.1 million recovered cases. That should be something we should be thankful for. But please obey the rules and regulations put on the ground to really stop the spread of COVID-19. Today on International Forum, yes, an abridged version, it's about what is happening in the U.S. Democrat primaries. Many of you didn't know that Bernie Sanders, he has chosen to step down. Yes, the news was overshadowed by the coronavirus thing. It happened 3 weeks into the lockdown of thereabout. When they came back, I was like, Benny, I really have to step down to give massive support right now in court to Joe. And many persons have been talking about this. What now for Bernie Sanders? Talking about his political journey, his political career. What will be the implication or the impact in the presidential election? With me here in the studio, I have two gentlemen. One is a legal practitioner. Join me to welcome Barrister Osahon Osazuwa. Barrister, welcome to International Forum. I appreciate your coming.
It is always my pleasure.
Hope you are keeping safe. All right, so very close to the legal practitioner Osazuwa Osahon. He is a lecturer from Uniben, of course, a clergyman, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Frank Amego. Welcome to the show, sir.
It's nice being with you.
You are staying safe.
Very, very safe.
All right, let me start from you, Honorable Frank Amego. Before this shot happened, so people call it short, Donald Trump predicted it. He said, you are going to do the same to Bernie. He was praying to the Democrats. That was a week or 2 weeks before the stepping down of Bernie Sanders for Joe Biden to just climb the scene. How do you feel about all this? Is Donald Trump a prophet? Did you see this coming?
Well, apart from President Donald Trump predicting such a thing, in a forum like this in January, this same program, I did a prediction along that line that Joe Biden will be the person that will bear the flag for the Democrats because of the various antecedents. Joe Biden is a former vice president and is a mature person. He has a free flow with Americans when it comes to interactions. But the other candidates, they have nothing close to what Joe Biden had or
Not
still having.
Bernie Sanders.
Sanders, I wonder how he got to that point. Elizabeth Warren would have been a better candidate, maybe because she's a woman. So Sanders giving up at this point is expected because in South Carolina, every momentum he gathered became dashed when Joe Biden cleared everything. That's why he gave up. So I'm not trying to applaud him. He has not done something credible. What he just did was just to bow out honorably. Otherwise, there's nothing in stock for him to further struggle with Joe Biden. Same way, age is not the side of Joe Biden. The age is not there.
Yeah.
No, Joe Biden not that.
Okay.
Yeah, the age is not on the side. He's in his late 70s. So for Sanders, he hadn't enough pedigree to stand Joe Biden. So he was just waiting for the right time. And if you check closely, a lot of his followers are not happy. When he gave the shot last month, it was about a month ago now, a lot of them are not happy. All those things you said you would do when you become American president, what would happen to those values you brought before us? What will happen to our aspirations as followers? He didn't consider all that. So to me, he didn't do the right thing.
All right.
He didn't do the right
Now, you did the right thing, but
yes.
Okay, fine. I'll come back to you, Honorable Frank Amego. Now, Barrister Osahon Osazuwa, I know you are like an added fan of the Democrats when compared to Republicans. Now, did you see this coming? Did you see Bernie Sanders bowing out? Because from what he said he saw it coming. Yes, the month of January he talked about it, that Joe may just be the right candidate that will just clinch it all when talking about the U.S. Democrat primaries.
Yes, let me begin by saying that Bernie Sanders has done marvelously well, given the fact that he's not even a Democrat in quotes. He's not a card-carrying member of the Democratic Party.
Democrats in quotes, yes. Please explain that.
He's an independent, and he's the longest-serving independent both in Congress, in the House, and the Senate. That tells you something about his personality. To be there without the backing of the two heavyweight parties, Republican and the Democratic Party. It tells you the man has something in him that people sees, and I've been following since 1981 when he became a mayor of Burlington. So, the odds were stacked against him ab initio. From the very beginning, because he had to prove to them, he had to even undergo to sign an undertaking that he will govern with the democratic principles in mind if he becomes president, before they even allowed him to run both in 2016 and then 2020. He came on his own based on his characteristics, on what he has as a person, on his charismatic thing that he has done over the years. Here is a man who took the world by surprise in 2016 when nobody gave him a chance at all, almost toppled Hillary Clinton, but for the Democratic Party, the setup, what they call the kingmakers, who felt uncomfortable with Bernie's idea. They think he's too far to the left. They think his ideas are too far-reaching and too revolutionary, and then America is not ready for such a thing now. So that was that. We must understand where he is coming from. That given the challenges and the obstacles that stood in front of him, how he has managed to surmount all this. For a person coming out from nowhere, being an independent, to have made assault on the Democratic ticket twice, almost clinching them on both occasions, we must give him credit. It tells us that Bernie has something. Here is a man who marched with Dr. King in the 1960s. Here is a revolutionary who always stood for racial equality and against income inequality. Here is a man who always fought big corporations and big businesses because he thought that West America, be the greatest nation on West, would not just be to the corporate. The money will not only tend to the corporate people, but also to the average individual. That the money should be spread as wide as possible. These are the ideas that Bernie has espoused for over half a century now. People know where he stands. People know this is who he is, and they flock to him. The youth flock to him. Tuition-free tertiary education, Medicare for all, single-payer Medicare for all. This is a revolutionary idea that America could afford, but for corporate greed and capitalist greed, they didn't want to listen to him. He was a man far ahead of his time, a man that was not, his people they are not ready for now. The time will come that Bernie's idea we come to the fore. Even now, given this bailout that has caused by coronavirus, the money that's been doing, these are Bernie's idea.
All right.
And they thought it was not possible for government to be donating that money to ordinary people. But now we have seen it in place.
Okay, and also to go down in history as the man that bowed to pressure. Because according to some persons, because he gave so much accolades to this personality of Bernie Sanders, but towards the end he chose to bow out. Anyway, we'll come back to it. Okay. We'll come back to it. Now, he said Bernie is the man that single-handedly stood against multinationals, single-handedly stood against two great parties just for him to claim the ticket. That was the reason why he chose to pitch tent with the Democrats. Was that really what worked against Bernie, him not being a party man? Right from the
it's rather unfortunate that Sanders decided to even run in the first instance. He doesn't understand the culture of America. That's the advantage Trump has. He understands the culture of America. If you are in a particular locality and you want to render services, you have to consider the people there first. There are some services that cannot be rendered in a particular location. You have to, first of all, find out if your services will be needed or if you have your goods to sell. So now for Sanders, he's more of a socialist. And with that mindset, Americans will never be comfortable with him. To be a socialist, you are tending towards aligning with the Russian government. So whatever ideas he would have had, they are all theoretical. Yeah. Trump never used any of his ideas. If at his own party level, he belonged to a party. He believed in democratic lifestyle, but never lived like that. That's why my colleague yesterday is independent. How can you be independent in the midst of a group? You must align with them. Talking about party supremacy, you must believe in the dictates of the party you belong to or you claim to belong to. So he ran under that Democratic Party. So along that line with his own fellow Democrats, they never liked him. He didn't contest as an independent candidate. It was a party thing. As Trump will have this in his own party, same way he had it. So he's not coming from nowhere. It's not a zero-party election. Among the Democrats, they don't like him. But if he holds on to the thing, he's not dynamic. Your way of seeing a thing must not be the way everybody should see it. That will lead to dictatorship. So Americans are aware. And the best fight now is between Trump and Biden. That's why I kind of prophesied in quotes in January. If Biden had not come on board right now, there will be no match for Trump. So what Sanders did, he had some ulterior motives that the Americans were able to foresee. That's why he had a lot of votes in favor of Joe Biden. In South Carolina, all he does is greatest. He wanted to just showcase his strength. Everything was dashed. Because at that point, oh, wow. Why he was going to surrender, in quotes, he didn't even let his people know. It was a phone call. It started with a phone call. They are now materialized into a public discussion. So in the first instance, that's how to carry people along. You have your own supporters. If you are going to decamp, for instance, or you're going to withdraw from a race, there should be a brainstorming. You come to a round table. You must go, I will not go. You must go, I will not go. Okay, let's vote. It's the outcome of that discussion that will determine his public declaration. He made a declaration, the supporters are angry. Though he's trying to come on air to say he will work with Joe Biden, he's not going to work with anybody. Because his mindset is different from that of Joe Biden's own.
Okay. Now, you've heard Honorable Frank Amego, though you gave quite a strong antecedent for Bernie Sanders worked with Martin Luther King, was the independent candidate, was able to become a mayor, and now so many political achievements. But there is an underlying factor. He is not a party man. In 2016, this same thing happened to him. He was defeated by Hillary Clinton. And of course, right now, maybe according to speculations and reports, he doesn't want to face the same humiliation right now, in quotes, from Joe Biden. If you put all this together, and of course his own supporters not being so happy with him, how would you rate Bernie Sanders, politically speaking, beginning of his career to the end?
You see, Sanders suspended his campaign for the presidency, and he said he will still remain on the ballot in the states that are yet to go to their caucuses and their primaries. And he did that for a simple reason, because of his followers. So that he can influence the direction, he can influence the policies, he can influence the future of the Democratic Party.
Sorry for cutting it, would that make any difference?
Yes, it will. It will force the establishment to listen to him. Sanders has massive followers among the youth, massive followers among the Hispanics, massive followers among the students, massive followers among millennials. So he's somebody you cannot wish away. And these followers are who they are, and they follow him because of the ideas he stands for. What he stands for 20 years ago is what he stands for today. He doesn't speak with one thing with his mouth and keep another with his heart like the average politician would do. No, that's not Sanders. He's as straight as a arrow. He has ideas that move him, and these ideas are the signposts and the guideposts that direct his mind, his thinking, his policies, and where he hopes to go. So, and the American people know this. The young people who are fed up with politics as it were before, they want change. So, by remaining on the ballot, he hope to force them to examine what they call the Green New Deal, to examine, to give the climate change and issues like that consideration. The issue of tuition-free tertiary education, America can afford that, to force the Democratic Party to go that direction. The issue of single-payer insurance health policy, to cause them to look in that direction, to ensure that the big corporations, the insurance companies, that the health and the drug manufacturers, they make drugs that could be cheaper, generic drug for those who can afford it. That's what he has been fighting for all these years. And it's so unfortunate that my colleague said that he even entered the race. Of course, if you have ideas, you need a platform, a viable platform to achieve those ideas. And he has thought over the years that he cannot, yes, he ran as an independent to become mayor and he won. He ran as an independent to become a House member and he won for consecutive 4 tenures. The list he had was 7% victory. That was the list he had for 71 something, 80 something. He ran as an independent for senator from Vermont since 2007. He has won 3 consecutive terms also. That shows you something. And to become the presidency is different from the Senate and the House and the state. You need a viable platform, either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party.
Having won all this, having achieved this victory, why did he step down?
He has seen the end of the road. He started very well. If you know what happened from Iowa, the other one that happened, he started very well. Okay. But then, and I for one, I really rated for Joe Biden when he was taking, because for me this election is about who takes Trump from that office. Okay. And I always felt that Biden was the right person to take Trump from there, even though I have big sympathies for Bernie Sanders.
All right, now you're speaking from the sympathetic angle. Okay, I will come back to you now. Okay. For someone not to consult his own base, his followers, and of course his campaign organization, he made a phone that is stepping down. How do you think the political journey of this person will end? Do you think it will bring about trust? Do you think it's going to destroy everything he has built, politically speaking?
Bernie Sanders' political ambition is not ending. It has ended.
Hold on, it's not ending, it has ended.
It ended last month when he ceded to Joe Biden. If you want to step aside, there are basic procedures you follow. Rightly, as my colleague said, he has some followers. Over the years, they have believed in him in so many ways. Don't just step aside like that. Even in Nigerian politics, don't just step aside. You want to step aside, but the guys ahead of you or around you tell you, no, this is not the right time. You make a fool of us. So now, those persons he tried bringing up, his followers, it's like a pack of cards and dashed. What happens to them? They have been preaching everywhere, campaigning. When a man comes on board, we don't have better healthcare facilities, education is going to be this. Well, all those things are gone. Just like alcohol is supposed to air, gone. Sublimation will take place. So where would his followers fit in now? In terms of ideology, the ideology of Sanders and that of Biden, they are not the same. So the same way, the followers of Sanders will not easily fit into the followership of Joe Biden. So if we're going to say that he would join forces with Joe, that's just a defeating statement. There are ways you run things. You can't be an activist and want to govern a civilized society. America is still civilized for him to take up that responsibility. And he saw it coming. The few instances he made, that if you allow me to say it, initial gra-gra, he just made that as if he could do something. As I always said, in South Carolina, they finished him. You came to my home, I won you in a football match, 2-0, with the hope that when there's a return leg, you win 2-1 or the worst to be 2-2. But now, you got to my place, I gave you 2-0, I got to your place, I gave you 5-0. So that tells you I'm from a better team. So what he did was just to cover up shame. In the case of who fights and runs away, lives to fight another day, that's not the case. He fights, runs away, he's not fighting again. He's in his 70s. You know, he wait for a number of years again to recontest, they won't believe in him again.
Now,
So
right
to me,
now, for what you're saying, he threw in the towel. Is that what you're saying right now?
politically, that's the end of it.
Okay, now, what does this now mean for the Democrats? Because they're talking about election towards the end of this year. Would that give them a kind of a strong hold? Give them that strength to stand against Trump?
Thank you very much. Let me please say to answer you that there is no way, there's just no way the flag bearer for the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, can clinch the presidency without the votes of the largest minority group now in the US. It will be interesting to know that it's not the blacks again, the Hispanics. They form they are the largest minority group in the US, and these people, they flock to Bernie Sanders like what you can imagine.
Because of the mentality. That's
Because-
socialism, right?
Because of who he is. It's not socialism. He calls himself as a democratic socialist that is primarily molded on what they call the Nordic model. And the Nordic model is the model that is prevalent in the Scandinavian 10 plus. That is, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, then plus Finland and Iceland, with their strong welfarist package, with their strong government. In those countries, government employ over 30% of the population. Their insurance, their health insurance is single payer, which is almost shouldered by the government. That the means of production are there. When you talk about socialism, you don't talk about the ownership of the means of production. He's just talking about how the people, how labor could and should get a due course from the process of production. That why the laborers make his input in the greatness and the riches of the nation. That the profit that should stem from his labor should be shared reasonably between him and the employer of that labor and the capitalist. That's what he has always said. He has never talked about government taking over the means of production, about or causing the billionaires to take their hand away from their businesses. No. What he has always said, what democratic socialism has always meant for Sanders, which he has taken his time to explain over and over again, is what they call income equality. Now, the wealth that a nation makes, as is done in the Nordic country today, that wealth should be decentralized as much as possible.
But that is socialism.
No, it's not socialism. So it has to do with the means of production, government running the affairs of a nation. No, that's not what he has always talked about.
Right.
We must understand Bernie and the workings of his mind. I will say that the Democratic Party today understand the dynamics of power and election. They need everybody. Their strength is their diversity. That's why they open their arms as wide as possible to receive everybody. You come. It's not just that their party is not Christian and white, that the Republicans will tell you, which is another very big hypocrisy again. When you're talking about some of the vilest person and by gods under the sun, you find them there, but they will tell you that the party of God and of course of guns. I find it the party of God. Either you believe in God or you believe in your guns. So that's always been their hypocrisy. Okay. But the Democrats will tell you that let you come. They don't tell you what to do, because they have always believed that it is not the function of the state to regulate your relationship.
All right.
It is not the function of the state to tell you the God you bow to. That the state has no business. These are your personal. That's what Christianity is, your personal relationship with God.
All right.
That the state cannot be coming and be legislating for morality for all those stuff. Okay. So they open their hands as possible. That is why today they need Bernie, and they know they need Bernie. And Bernie has also endorsed on April 11th, about 4 or 3 days after suspending, he endorsed Biden. Because he understands that there's a bigger person, a bigger problem in the form of Trump to be removed. And he has always said it. Even Hillary Clinton herself said it when the race was still going on. That Bernie has had a long understanding and relationship with Biden. That Bernie will endorse Biden that the issue she got issue with Benny because he reluctant before he endorsed that he reluctantly did so because of some perceived injustice that the Democratic Party meted on him then. But he didn't take him time to endorse Biden, and he's working with Biden.
All right. So now Trump is on one hand warming up for the election, and here we are. Biden is the president right now. Democrats are looking up to or onto to really displace Trump. Do you see it happening? Because of what he said, they need the largest minority, the Hispanic. So tell me, how is it going to pan out?
Of a truth, Joe Biden will win Donald Trump.
Are you sure about
In
it?
theory.
Amen.
In
No,
theory.
you said in theory, and you said amen.
I know where I'm going.
Trump has to go.
By imagination, Biden will win Trump. I'm a medical researcher.
Yeah.
You can do a thing in vitro, just do it in the test tubes. That does not mean that it will play out in the living body. So to just sit there and draw analysis here and there, okay. Two good things about Biden. One, more mature than Trump. Two, is a better person when it comes to human relations. But that won't take him anywhere.
Against Trump.
Against Trump. Trump will win. He's obvious he will win. But it's not going to be there as a national consensus that let Trump become president. He will fight. What is wrong in fighting? The constitution allows for that. You bring someone from your party, I'll bring. No matter how weak or strong the person is from your party, bring the person against the next opponent. Biden is no match for Trump. The strength is not there, the enthusiasm is not there. What Trump does, as I said earlier on, he holds on to the culture of America. Things on immigration, immigrants, so many things. He holds on tenaciously to it. So if, as a Benin person, I have some beliefs in Benin Kingdom, there are things we believe in, good and bad. This one is good, that one is bad. And in your own place, you have your own beliefs. And now, two of us are going to contest in Benin City. Then I will stand to say, I will protect the culture and tradition of Benin. Then you will say, some cultures or traditions of Benin are not good. Oh, I win.
Wow, good question. Barrister, 30 seconds because our time is up. This is an abridged version. He said Trump is going to floor.
Yeah, Biden. Floor.
But in vitro, test tube, Biden will win. Briefly.
Last time around, Trump was thoroughly beaten by Hillary Clinton with over 3 million votes. So that should tell you something. And with the free-falling economy today, with the way the shabby money has handled the virus, and with his continuous lie that the Americans have come to see who he is, with his bigotry, with his peddling in hate, with his peddling in fear, and they have seen him, they know him. He's going down the line. There's no way he's winning.
All right. Let's see what's going to happen. Gentlemen, our time is up. I know you have so much to say, but our time is up. Let's see how it will pan out for the presidential election in the U.S. Go to the YouTube to get to see this full interview, and you comment, you like. Bye for now.